It is Friday for another live stream on the Independent Investor Channel. Take this opportunity. Welcome all the subscribers back to the message. Absolutely starting a new streak here on the I2 for the Friday live streams, getting us through the Friday summer routine. I have spent a lot of time already by the pool, chilling out, reflecting, doing my thing. I spent a lot of my time today avoiding taking a look at the stock market. For all the folks that make their way in here for the fastest 60 minutes on YouTube, get a little touch of perspective, get a little touch of my pulse in the stock market. Absolutely. All right. The stock market is crashing. Do this now is you knew that those were going to be coming out through YouTube. Absolutely. We're off a little blip from the highs in the Dow Jones Industrial, down a couple thousand here, off the highs of 35,000. It's irrelevant. Doesn't mean squat. You can come in and get a little voice of reason from myself. We're going to roll out some portfolio reviews for you guys. Show you we are down a little bit this week. We had a down week. It happens in the market. I think there's a lot of different representatives from the independent investor community from all over the states and especially globally around the world who come in for just a few minutes and catch the message, whether it be live or after the fact. I just want to foot stomp how important it is for you guys. I acknowledge, and I there's no way that I can properly acknowledge the level of devotion that I have for those empowered investors out there. You're all, when you come in and you look to get a 60-minute live stream from me, it's kind of a testament to what it is that you do, how we can look at process improving for you, how we can look at making you that much tougher, that much more ironclad in your risk tolerance. And so the types of stuff that doesn't that bothers most people won't bother you. Ask yourself, if you're in my shoes and you lose, I mean, I was down $7,200 today. $7,200 bill evaporated to the stock gods. All right. I could have probably come on and put a nice YouTube video together and say, Ryan's lost $7,000. What do I do? He's panicking. That's not true. I waxed my truck today. It's kind of cool. It needed that. Needed a little protectant put on the truck. So yeah, I mean, even though I spent most of the day getting kicked between the legs in the stock market, I found out some other cool things to do. Wax the truck, hit Walmart, made a nice purchase on Amazon, a nice new battery for my flashlight. I went through and fixed all my flashlights. I've taken some initiative because I've had a little downtime on safeguarding documents. And I talk about this element as an underappreciated element of financial wealth building. And that is the importance of organization. If you guys lack organization in your life, you guys really, really need to take a page out of my playbook. Everything that I buy in way of organization and document retention and organization, I share through my Amazon marketplace. You guys can link over there from the independentinvestorchannel.com website. That's available to you guys. Check it out. Okay. You don't have to click on the links. I get like 6 cents if you buy something. It's idiotic. But it is kind of cool to look on there because I share the products. Not only if you wanted to start a YouTube channel, everything that you see, my big ugly face that's lit up right now, is also on there. So if you want to go ahead and add some excitement to your life, by all means, start a YouTube channel. It's incredible. But yeah, the stock market was pretty poor this week. We digressed. We took about a $10,000 down day. I had one day this week that was up about 2,500, but for the rest of the market, really my big speculative position is what drives the portfolio action right now. I was able to earmark a few bright spots in the portfolio. I'll give those to you now. The options action, whipping some ass. I really couldn't be happier. My long call contracts on Hyliion are worth well over $1,000. I'm in the money on one above the $10 strike. I'm going to hold those long. Those are set out to 2023 on the 10 and 1250 strikes as appropriate. Those are already worth about $1,000 a piece. I look for those to be extremely lucrative. Not only that, but today was a nice roll-off day for some highly on puts that I had written at $9. I wrote those when it was trading at 950 or so. I figured, you know what, I'm going to write these pretty aggressively. Stock went up nicely. They never really were in danger of being put to me. Not that I would have cared anyway. $9 seems pretty aggressive. I don't know if I'm going to rewrite those. As a matter of fact, I just rewrote some new ones to roll to July. I didn't roll them. I rewrote the contracts, allowed the old to expire. But those are to the 16th of July as well. And I think those are about an $11 because I want more shares if it goes down. I think we're in a matter of time on the Hyliion meter. I'm about 11.5% toward my goal. So the Hyliion meter from $0 to $100 per share is at about an 11.5 right now, percentage toward my goal. And we'll get there. The podcast that was dropped today by Thomas Healy was fabulous. If you at all have an inkling at all to get about as good an entry as you're going to get on the stock here, take a listen. And there was a couple very, very key things in there that I picked up on. Infrastructure, cost of the grid for cost savings, hydrogen fuel cell, right, and the usefulness of that. Thomas talked a little bit about why he did what he did, talked a little bit about the inception of the company. It's a 6-year-old company, okay, where he's progressed from then until now. Very, very cool stuff. So you can find that on social media. I don't have the link with me. You guys can very easily find that. I actually forget the name of the podcaster that did the interview, but I thought he was fabulous. It was really, really quite good. But to share those opportunities with you guys as they come due in due time, the latter part of 2021 is going to be really exciting for that company. So for the folks out there that are talking about the stock market's crashing, do this now, which implies that you have to watch me to let me tell you what it is that you should do with your money. Doesn't that seem a little odd to you guys? I'm trying to empower people to know what to do with their own freaking money. Why the hell do I need to scare tactic you into watching me so I can tell you what to do with? I don't want to tell you what to do with your money. I really don't. I know what I do with my money. I sold Wish today, so Matt's going to kill me. But I sold Wish now for the third time. I'm swing trading it in this range, and I'm killing it, making a fortune. I'm still sitting on the 750 put contracts that I've got. I believe I've got 4 contracts there, and I don't even know why they let me write those, to be honest with you. That was just silly, like shooting fish in a barrel. So those will be very lucrative. If it goes to 750, I'll pick up the shares. I'm pretty good at options. This fits with me like a nice round peg in a hole. It's really nice, man. The shoe fits. So I'm enjoying it. You guys, if you've known me, you've understood that I've avoided options like the plague because they scared the shit out of me. I was like, I don't know what the fuck. So, but I learned up on them, and I did what it is any good investor needs to do, and that is learn up. And I am whipping some ass at options right now. That's the lone bright spot in the portfolio. I don't know if there's any other bright spots in the portfolio other than the fact, and we'll talk about some of the things that everybody wants to bombard you with as far as earmarking what the problem with the stock market is right now, inflation, blah, blah, blah. The question is where you think the stock market's going to go at the end of 2021. I think we're going to have another banner year. I really do. There's too much positive going on in the market. Companies are doing fabulous things, are making money hand over fist. And I think it's still never been a better time to be an investor. I just made a comment a couple of weeks ago about what would happen if the stock market hiccuped a little bit for just a couple of weeks, or let alone had a down year. I even think that there would be some very strong, savvy, empowered investors in my community that would be like, God dang, what the hell am I doing this for? This is freaking crazy. Look at all the big screen TVs. I could have went and bought 10 big screen TVs with all the money I'm losing on this program that Ryan got me so motivated to fire away at. I digress. You got to really stay focused on your program. Understand what got you here. Okay. I'm off $10,000 week over week on a $520,000 portfolio. I can't lose focus on what I'm doing. And now I speak tongue in cheek, guys. You guys know I'm tougher than that. Okay. But I know there's some people out there. I just talked to LaShonda. She kicked in right before the live stream and said, hello, thanks for what you're doing. I've been investing a month. and I have to remember that there's folks out there like LaShonda who are coming to the investing opportunity for the first time. And holy crap, could you imagine looking at this landscape and being like, I don't know, AMC, Dogecoin, cryptocurrency, ATMs, shit, these 500 YouTube channels I got to sift through, man. I'm going to spend 28 hours a day watching YouTube. How the hell am I supposed to do that? I think it's simpler than that. However, there are distractions on the landscape, absolutely. And there's probably quite a few landmines out there as well that you do need to avoid. Okay. You really need to get started in the stock market using those tried and true fundamentals to start. You want to get overzealous and you want to creep away while I'm not looking from the independent investor program and buy a little AMC over here. Ryan's not looking. I'm going to buy some shit. I got this sucker licked, man. I can do this. By all means, you're an adult. I'm not your freaking dad. I'm your friend through YouTube that tries to push a little reason through and make a little bit more sense out of the stock market, dealy bobber. But, those products that we talk about, those passive investing products, I probably entered back into some starting positions at probably the worst time. For me, it was okay because it was part of my strategic plan to try to leverage some of when the Hyliion meter reaches 100, we'll probably look to take some of that profit off the table, leverage them into some of the existing starting positions. Make no mistake about it, guys. I think I'm 43. I think. I'm not really sure. Any birthday I have over 40, I have to remind myself of what age I am because I really just don't find a whole hell of a lot of value in it. I'm a pretty happy fella, but it doesn't mean a whole lot to me. But as I get older in life, I really want to leverage the opportunity made possible by diversified passive investing in ETFs. I really foot stomp that as a very viable way to gain yourself some very, very predictable wealth in the market. Predictable. Okay. In other words, like you can lose money with VTI. Okay. You can lose money with triple Qs. I own them both. VYM, I bought at 107. It's down to 104. What does that mean? Do I panic? Do I shit my pants and sell the position outright and never come back to the independent investor channel ever again because he steered me wrong, that stupid bastard? No, I don't do that, right? I'm talking about me. Okay. Could I say, well, I entered into the stocks maybe at the wrong time? Yeah. I mean, we entered out in those right when the market just hit 35,000 on the Dow. So we're off a couple thousand, 0.5%, I believe. Do the quick math. I don't know. It feels like this week has been, hasn't been a whole lot of place to hide, I think. So it's been a rough one. So with that, we're going to jump in, do some portfolio reviews, but before we do that, we're going to do the most badass intro on YouTube. I built it myself. You guys are going to really enjoy this, man. Stick around. Appreciate seeing everybody in here, man. We've got 37 ready to rock. I said, if we're doing this project right, we're going to keep on driving on until I find the most devoted people out there that are ready to become empowered investors, guys. Great to see everybody. I just love doing this project. I really do. I hope you guys can feel the love as well. I just love this. The fastest 60 minutes because I love it so much. It seems like I look up at the clock and I've got to sign out. So I try to embrace the opportunity as the best I can. And I'm like a motor mouth the entire time. I just keep it going and I keep pushing out what it is that I got to say because I'm trying to give it to you. I'm trying to give it to you, man. Seriously, you can benefit from what's upstairs, man. All right. And 60 minutes in the context of a lifetime really isn't that much for me to give you the goods. Okay. And I know if I'm not the only YouTube channel that you watch, I don't know, I could be to some people, really. I'm the only YouTube channel I watch. Seriously. I'm the only one I enjoy. I'm trying to give you the goods, right? And try to keep you grounded from all the distractions out there. There's a lot. Okay. There's a lot. And when it comes right down to boiling down those distractions and taking them in stride, a lot of them really are irrelevant. Okay. The market's down. Okay. There's always two ways of looking at every single inject you get. All right. If you think you've got a perceived negative, make it a positive. Okay. If you think your portfolio's down and you think, oh my God, again, first of all, I need to clean out my shorts because I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for losing money. This is ridiculous. I got news for you. You signed up to be a stock market investor, man. You got to accept it full kit and caboodle. All right. Stock market investing doesn't allow you to just enjoy when the market goes up and expect that the market's never going to go down. I've said this many, many times through the channel. I don't sugarcoat this deal. Okay. There's no sugar on the stock market. The stock market is just what it is. Okay. Accept it for what it is. You say, God dang, Ryan, this sucks, man. I mean, there's nothing that we can do to try to buffer the down. I didn't say that. Okay. Control everything that you can control in the stock market. And the stuff that you can't control, leave it alone. Stop trying to control that stuff. Okay. Focus on your plan. Focus on the stuff that you can control. Okay. Contribute a little bit more, like I've done, increasing from 10% to 20% in my employer sponsored thrift savings plan that I have, right? That's in my control. Understand, guys? Okay. If the stock market gets you down from the volatility, go find something else to do. I don't know. Pick a hobby. Okay. Maybe you can be a better guitar player than me. I don't know. Go jump in a pool. Cool your head down. Go wax your truck like I did today. It looks great. It looks great, by the way. Avoid those distractions. Okay. It's okay, like myself, to acknowledge that getting kicked in the nuts hurts. Okay. It hurts over and over again. Like the Shaolin monks. Watch the videos, man, of the Shaolin monks getting kicked in the nuts over and over again. That was like today. Okay. Well, what are you going to do? Are you going to cry about it? Or are you going to go wax your truck? All right. Go wax that truck. All right. You'll be all right. Let's jump in here and check what the damage is. Week over week here, down just marginally. You can see here that we're fully invested here. I did liquidate Amazon. Again, Matt Money is probably getting his tomatoes ready to throw through the screen at me. And he knows full well that he's not going to hit me from Houston, but he's probably getting the tomatoes and he's probably like, Ryan, Amazon's going to 4,000. He's right. It was a portfolio positioning move. And I took profits today because it ran up like a champion the last 2 days. And it was the lone element to the portfolio that was up today around 3,500. I went ahead and sold it. I didn't have a whole lot of wiggle room there at the top. Amazon finished down today, a couple bits. Fair market value on Amazon is about $4,250. And I would agree with Matt on his assessment that it's still a buy here at 35. But from a portfolio positioning perspective, I went ahead and took some swing trading profits and wished today, which I still have the puts, right? So I win in either market, but the 300 shares that I made, again, a nice secondary swing trading profit on. I went ahead and liquidated that, because I've got it caught in a range here, right? So I want to profit on that. And Wish isn't one of those companies that I'm really that excited about owning long. There's a lot to be excited about, but that's just not my bull. My bull is Hyliion, okay? So you won't see Amazon here. We'll go into the weekend not owning Amazon, which I'm totally fine. Amazon's not going anywhere. If I wanted to buy it back on Monday on a huge freaking $100 a share dip, I could do that. And quite honestly, guys, Amazon's volatile. Last week, just early last week, it was trading in the low 3,000s. Okay. So it does give you those opportunities. Lockheed Martin stepped back into. Obviously, we got crushed like a cucaracha this week on anything that we entered brand new. So we got squishied, and I got to watch my money vaporize. That was fun. But 109,102 in this account. Nothing too crazy. The cues. Lind, I was super bullish about in the materials. I've been crushed like La Cucaracha in Lind as well. But it is a quality company, best in breed. I'm super stoked to own it, but it's so nice to enter into the stock at 300 and see it trading here in the low 280s. If you heard me out, my pain can be your pleasure. By all means, buy a little position in Lind here. You'll be glad you did. All right, because you're probably getting a pretty good entry. AT&T, what can I say? What a joke. That's the only one that I'm really, the fundamentals have changed. And I don't know if the strategic wager that they're making on 5G is going to work out. I'm betting that it does. But it's kind of irritating to sit back and watch this juggernaut and my 315 share position vaporize from the 30 mark. And now it's down to 28 and change, something like that. But anyway, we'll live to fight another day. Roth number one here. 126,206. You guys can see the spark line. I was down in every account that I have. So like when I'm kind of like, yeah, it was a good week, you know, I come on and now it's down. I don't think you'll find a whole lot of change in my demeanor. Like I'm just not coming in and being like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me give you a piece of my insight right now on stock market investing. I'm willing to drive this chariot on fire to hell in a handbasket if needs be. Okay, I'm willing to have confidence in my program, no matter what. Right. So ask yourself, if you've got that $1,000 of capital and you've been working with the market for a month, right? Ask yourself, how would you feel if the stock market went down 50%? You were down half in your money. Okay. You're down to $500. How would I feel? I think that would suck. I'd be like, dang, man, I could have bought a Lamborghini, man. I'm down. I'm willing to pledge my loyalty as an empowered investor to what it is that I know works in the stock market. Devotion, cost savings, self-directed investing, man, that is what's going to really empower the retail investor out there, not succumbing to every influence and every inject. So we're left confused about what to do with our own damn program. Okay. Very, very crystal clear on my program. What really is the difference between what it was last week at 129, I believe, and now 126? A few $1,000. We're off a little bit. We'll live to fight another week. Who knows? When I come and report to you guys next week, one of two things are going to happen. Either it's going to be up or it's going to be down. Okay. I'm perfectly open to accepting either outcome. Okay. Nothing really has changed here. Facebook. Big position, 25 shares in Facebook within the Roth IRA. This will be a final. I'm done swing trading Facebook. That was about a half a dozen, having some fun with it, make some money, trimming off some profits between the 330 and 335 range, right? Yeah. Is it 335 or 235? 235. Yeah, 230, 235. That range right there. I think it's ready to break out. So I went ahead and put the big 25 share position on. We'll hold that long. Scanning, nothing else changed. Pretty cash lean right now in our investing posture. Am I satisfied with that? I'm pretty neutral, to be honest with you. I'd like to have more cash, but what we have in cash right now will suffice with what I think is kind of overblown, especially in the short term. About this little blip that we're having in the stock market. This could blow over and turn around next week. And then it'll be just like every other of the last 100 blips on the radar as a big nothing burger. Okay. So there it is. Spark line down just a touch week over week anyway. All right. And this is Roth 2. No real crazy additions. Oh, I did liquidate the Affirm and the Asan holdings. Made some really good swing trading profit on there. I did. So I've got the tickers there. Those are no longer in the portfolio. Those are the only liquidations to brag about here. Yeah. ExxonMobil, that was doing really, really good. That's turning into a gargantuan position in this portfolio. CRM, back in the black on CRM. We're looking good there. Values come off a little bit. Google, we're still sitting on some really good profit. Apple is starting to really, really do some nice work off of the low 120s, back up to 130 again. Yep. So not a whole lot's changed here. And 122. I think last week we were 126. I think this portfolio, this is mine. This took the most damage, which is fine. As long as I can avoid my wife taking the most damage in the portfolio, then we're good. Right? I'll take all the damage. I wish I could take all her damage in my portfolio. That'd be awesome, right? I don't know. Never even heard of that, but if I could work something out, I would. 16,266. We're down a little touch here in the passive portfolio. So when I buy to this, right, always looking at the good in the situation. We'll put the funding in there. I believe I do that around the 21st or 22nd. So those new fundings will flow in there on the 22nd. We'll buy these ETFs a little cheaper, hopefully, unless the stock market's up next week, 500 to open on Monday, which is a distinct possibility. We're still in a multi-year mega bull run here, so anything can happen. All right. And there's the little 71 stock portfolio with M1 Finance. Very cool stuff, 18,392. It's looking like it'll pull back off of that $20,000 mark. And we'll have to do a little more work on this. But great account. We'll continue to DCA this up. I'm monitoring this sucker because I look at the independent investor channel the same way I look at my buckets for investing, okay? Each of these feelers, right? They're all subscribers. They're all over the world. Okay. They're all doing their thing. Well, my buckets are doing the same thing. Each bucket has its own personality. Okay. This bucket, I monitor these buckets. Now, again, right after I clean my shorts out, right? Because I've just panicked myself out of the market. And well, I came across this YouTube channel with 4 people that are telling me that the stock market's crashed, and they told me to tune into them. So I had to tune into them. This was after I cleaned my shorts, right? I'm not just liquidating my freaking portfolio because I come across a YouTube channel that says, man, you got to do this now. Shit, man, you got to do this now, man. Go spend your money. It's the apocalypse. It's the end of the world. You know, I just had one of my colleagues ask me at work, it's like, man, Ryan, when are you going to start enjoying all your money? I was like, oh boy, if I could give you my perspective, I love life right now. It has nothing to do with the size of my wad. I don't know. Someday when I can go and buy 10 Corvettes, that'll be the day. I'll go buy one and I'll be like, okay, man, this is really quite cool. And I will too. Like it's okay. It's relative. For the people that I know that have a lot of money and they want to enjoy that money, that's awesome. What does that have to do with me? Like I'm happy for you. I'm also happy with me. I don't need to, my citizen watch, man, that's my favorite thing because it demonstrates to people that I bargain shopped that. It was a $600 watch at the time that I bought it. And I bought it from New York for $290 online. It was a display model. It was brand new. And I bought it like, shoot, 8 years ago. That sucker's paying me back right now. That's the perspective that I'm talking about. I like Rolexes. I like Matt's Rolex, for crying out loud. I'm super stoked for the guy. Listen to him talk about what that Rolex meant for him in his life. And I'm like, God damn, I start crying and shit. I'm like, that's fucking awesome, Matt. I digress. This is not for me, right? What'll be for me is what evolves in my life. And maybe I can share little insights. And I have no problem with that. I look at money as a completely different topic than most people. I just don't understand why a lot of people are like, I can't talk about money. Are you crazy? You crazy, man. No, it's just money. It's okay. It's paper. It's really cool looking paper with green print on it. It's really cool. This is the one that surprised me the most, actually, and this is the one that I've upped from 10% to 20%. So we talk about little things that we can do, and I'm going to get into the list now. I've got a half hour left, and I do want to get into this lesson. Jesus, this is YouTube, for crying out loud. I'm sorry. I think there is a little bit of teaching element to my approach because this is why I'm the only YouTube channel that I watch, because I'm like, dang, okay, a little bit of entertainment. All right, a little bit of cussing. Some people are offended by that. Sorry. for those people that come in and bless the channel. But it's just me. I apologize. Got to be a little entertaining, got to be a little scathing, got to be a little edgy, but we got to be a little bit educating as well, and try to get that what I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to get, I gotta get it out. It's got to come from here to here to here through YouTube and out to the social media audience. That's just how it's got to roll. This one surprised me a little bit, down a little bit in here. I'm really excited about upping the contributions to this. So if you're thinking, okay, well, maybe this is it. Ryan's talking about maybe, I don't know, the market's been at an all-time high for a long time, multi-year bull market, right? And I've been doing 2, 3, 4, 5% to my 401k, 403b, et cetera, et cetera. I really like it. It's performed quite well. If I think it's going to roll off, right, and come back down, that's the time where you want to incrementally contribute more. But the market's going down, Ryan. Yeah, that's the time you want to contribute more. Wait a minute. This YouTuber is telling me to run for the prepper bunker and dive in head first. Get the canned food ready. What gives, Ryan? I don't understand. The more in this life you can identify what it is that you need to do, contrary to public opinion, contrary to groupthink, and contrary to what every influencer out there seemingly has as far as a best answer for you, do the opposite, the better off you'll be. Yeah. The more the market goes down, the more I'm buying. It just makes sense to me. Where a lot of people would look at me and they're like, you crazy. That's crazy, Ryan. The market's going down. You lose money. You lose money. What are you doing? You crazy man. I'm probably one of the most sane people that you'll ever know, whether or not I get to meet you in reality or through social media. I'm probably one of the most sane people that you'll ever want to meet. Yep. You betcha. Yeah, that's boring. I don't want to talk about options. I've already talked about how good we're doing with options. There it is. This is still pending. This is the Bitcoin Roth IRA. Kind of excited. I'll roll out a hot rollout for you guys. This is just the soft rollout of what my thought process is on this. Okay. Starting this account is a little bit unnerving for me a little bit. I'm kind of like, I don't know how that feels. I'm not sure. And the process to get the thing started with iTrust has been okay. All right. Starting a brokerage or rolling funds from one broker, it's never fun. It sucks, to be honest with you. That's why I say if you're going to start a brokerage account, make the decision for yourself to kind of stick and stay, make it pay, because you don't want to be flip-flopping back and forth. Out of Fidelity to TD to, Ryan does Merrill. I'm going to do Merrill. I'm going to do M1. I'm going to do this. Robinhood is great for a week, and then I'm going to liquidate and move on. Try to pick, stick, and stay here. But when I do the hard rollout of how this thing shakes out, I'll chronicle the entire thing. Basically, I'm taking $2,500 of already contributed Roth dollars and rolling those dollars over into the Bitcoin account here. And I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know, man. If it makes me like 10, 25, 50, $800,000, I don't know. I'll still be like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's opportunity cost. It's becoming a cryptocurrency investor or not. It's taking $2,500, which is less than 0.5% of the total portfolio, and becoming an investor in the two cryptocurrencies that I'm interested in, Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's it. Okay. So it's a good start. It allows me to become an investor in it, but we'll chronicle that. Just gives another element. It's the truth. This is what we're doing. Some of you guys, I had a comment come through the channel this week that got my attention, and he said, Ryan, I really appreciate your transparency on the channel. I don't agree with everything that you do, but I do respect your transparency and your forthcomingness on the channel. And it got me thinking, and I was like, that actually is great. I love people coming on and giving me high fives and being like, "You're the greatest, Ryan. You rock." If you knew, I'm just a regular fella. I put my pants on the same as everybody else. I go to the bathroom the same as everybody else. Okay, and it's like I do appreciate that, but it makes people makes me think that people out there are doing thinking on their own, and that really is the key for me. Yeah, that's the whole point of this whole gig, and hopefully that's the takeaway. I try to draw a distinction between, people just allowing themselves to come into the message, sit back, consume, and do. That is not what my program is. Like, I just find it funny how I'm inviting people in because the stock market is crashing, and therefore, because I'm the all-knowing stock market YouTube feller deller, that you need to do this right now because I have the answers, and it implies that you do not, in fact, have said answers. So therefore, sit down, shut up, cross your legs, listen to what I have to say, and do said tasking. No, I don't believe in that. So there we are. There's the $10,000 bill that we donated to the stock gods this week. So I hope they enjoy it. They're probably all eating their grapes and drinking their wine with my hard-earned $10,000. It's all good. It's all good. Fantastic. I'm going to get to comments here, and I'm going to try to trickle in this lesson for sure. All right. It says, who says Google tanked down just 1%? I'm up a fortune in Google. Google's a fantastic investment. So is Facebook. So is Amazon. Really, I mean, with the power of what we roll out for products on this channel and other channels, Matt's and, some of the others in the community here. I see Hidden Freedom. Dave's in the group here. A lot of good content creators, a lot of good investing minds, etc. Blah, 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 blah. The whole point is, look, man, don't invest in the company if you don't want to invest in the damn thing. And if you are interested in it, you could be like, oh, dang, this Google thing. I've heard of this thing, man. This is pretty cool. Yeah, you've heard of Google. Jesus Christ. You pull it. You probably pull it up on your personal browser a half a dozen times a day. That is powerful, folks. That's powerful. Google makes a truckload of money. And you say, well, okay, it's trading at a pretty rich valuation. No, it's not. I think all the big ones, Amazon, I think Facebook, I think Google, those are trading at very, very controlled valuations. And I think you could pick them up with the accounts that allow you partial share buys now with Fidelity and M1 Finance. If that's your thing, you can find access to these companies if you want to own them. So I'm kind of with Matt on this. I own Google long, and I don't look at Google as one of those that I wanted to trade. That's within the Roth, and I understand I traded out of Amazon today. I owned 6 shares of it, so a pretty big $20,000 position in the company. And I had an opportunity to take $600 off the table. I took a few $100s off the first time. I wrote it down into the low 3s the first time. It was a portfolio positioning move. I could be wrong. I could be right. At the end of the day, Amazon's not going anywhere. But I tend to agree with you. I own 3 shares of Google. It's a pretty big position for me. I'm satisfied with it. If I could buy 25 shares of Google, I would. I think it's relative. I think if you could own a half a share of Google, I think it would embolden your portfolio in the telecom space. I love the name. I really do. I think it's a beast. Yep. ARG, Facebook. They started to experiment with putting ads in VR, and it was coming. Well, see, they have revolutionized the billboard business. Okay. Facebook dominates the landscape. So what Facebook wants to do, they can do, right? They raise prices every single year on their customers. Why? Because they can. They make a ton of money, right? So again, it kind of comes down to this is an investing channel, right? So if you don't like the product, or I hate Facebook, it's for old people, you're missing the point. Okay. I just entered into 25 shares of Facebook beginning of this week. I'm down marginally, nothing too crazy. Facebook really held in there this week, if you didn't notice. And it's one of those, again, in the telecom space, it's been re-racked within the last couple of years. Okay. Traditional telecom would have been, your AT&T, which is a complete ass dog, right? Verizon. And if you want to know some funny insight, like, look at where Facebook has come over the last 2 years. Had you invested in Facebook 2 years ago, where would you be? Do your own homework. You'd be up a fortune, right? If you had invested in legacy telecom, Verizon and AT&T, where would you be? Right? So some things that we deliberate on. Yes, they would have paid you a nice healthy dividend. AT&T, right in the side on that one. Verizon's a good safe play and it can work in a lot of portfolios. I get it. I own them both. Okay, I own all three. I own all four: Google, Facebook, Verizon, and AT&T, and Disney in the telecom space, right? But each of those have their own personalities and give you a little different angle to what you're trying to get out of these fine companies. They're all really good companies, guys. Okay, we're talking about the best of the best here. The real niche and the ace in the independent investor repertoire is how you own these assets. That's the key. Okay, anybody can start a Robinhood account. Okay, anybody can start a Fidelity, a brokerage account. You want to jam these names into those accounts? Anybody can own them. Access to the stock market. Hell, you're not going to pay a trading fee to even enter into any of these four names anymore. The investing landscape has been drawn down so much. The real discipline becomes like, okay, and this is something that I outlined in my lesson tonight as being one of the problems, is the multitude of options out there. That can be problematic. It's the nature of how you deploy your free will and your choice in the matter that's going to dictate your success level. Okay. I think a lot of people look at the landscape of all the options and they're like, I'll take this option and I'll take this option and let me reach over here and grab this option here. And I'm going to put them in my basket and then I'm going to hope. All right. It takes all free will and choice out of the matter. Now, the choice aspect is the positive piece, right? You don't have to jump on every opportunity that comes your way. And there's going to always be multitudes of options out there for you. All right. The disconnect is how you deal with the choice and which options you look to choose to start that nucleus of a wealth building program for yourself. That's going to be the key. Okay. Very cool stuff, man. Got a Viper in the group. Growth to growth, the wealth funds and divs when it turns. Own it all. That's my thing, baby. Yeah. Own those single stock dividends, own the dividend ETFs, own the triple Qs, own the VTI, own the S&P 500. Lots of cool stuff out there. Everything that I just outlined for you guys is a great structural framework to start to look at. And then you can be like, boom, Ryan just gave us a half a dozen options, not infinite options, which they're out there. Like, seriously, if you want to put AMC into the YouTube search, you can find all kinds of bullish thesis on AMC if that's your thing, okay? But that's not what you're going to find with my channel. That's not where I see value for the masses, okay? Can you make money with any stock, penny stocks, any stock out there? Yes, it can be very, very lucrative, and it can also be very, very destructive. Okay, we want to try to stay away from those destructive options, and we want to try to continue to foot stomp those good options out there that can really accumulate some very, very good capital for folks. All right. Let's get into this. Problems and solutions. All right. When the title of this video tonight is to un-F your mind. Okay. I couldn't put it in the YouTube search, but I wanted to get people's attention. Really, you have to trick your mind. Okay. You have to mind F yourself, okay, to make sure that you can live from week to week and say, you know what, yeah, I lost $7,000 this week, no big deal. I'll live to fight another day. Could you do that? You can if you evolve as a stock market investor, all right? But this is the list of the problems that I just outlined on a brainstorming session. The portfolio's down. These are topics for a lot of YouTube videos, by the way. Stock market is down. Okay. Stocks are crashing. That's one of my favorite ones. Sentiment is shifting. That's a good one, right? It's like they've got a basket of really bad news and they keep it on retainer until the stock market gives an indication that CNBC can reach into that basket and start selling you a bunch of negative garbage again. They got all kinds of stuff, man. When was the last time you heard about the national debt? Mark my words. It'll come up, man, when the sentiment shifts. All right. I'm stuck holding the bag. I have no options. That's a good one. Really good one. The problem in and of itself is investing. Okay? Investing is the problem. You as a retail investor should not have ample knowledge to negotiate this and end up a successful investor down the line into retirement. No. That's not going to work for me, baby. Here's the solutions to each of those that I just gave, okay? When the portfolio's down, the shares itself are unchanged. And make no mistake, wealth building is about accumulating shares, not paying attention in the short term and the medium term to what the dollar figure is always doing. And that's what everybody wants you to focus on, man. It's not important. Let it go. If you're truly investing for the next 20, 30, 40 years, why does it matter what it does in one day of the stock market? 7,000? That's a lot of money, Ryan. God dang. Why don't you come on and cry for us, man? You'd get 1,000,000 views, because I just don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. In the long term, right? If I were to go back 5 years and look about all the accumulated wealth, right? I just rolled out how much accumulated wealth I've been able to roll in this portfolio over the last 5 years. Why would I just forget all that and be like, and get all crazy and up in arms about one day in the market? It's futile and it's irrelevant. All right. Stocks are cheaper. When the market goes down, stocks get cheaper. All right. So when the market's crashing, okay, that should be you kind of chomping at the bit. All right. Be like that rattlesnake. Okay. Hunkered, waiting. And when that sucker comes, boom, you pounce on it. Did I wake you up? Good. I hope I didn't spill that cup of Joe. She knows what I'm talking about. All right. Correcting. I can't even read my own writing. Geez Louise, I'm like dyslexic. When the sentiment is shifting, right, the solution is to ask yourself, are you in it for the short term or the long term? Okay. That's the key there. Okay. Now, to differentiate the no control items and the items that you have control over, here's the no control item. This is the world around you. Okay. You guys watch Star Wars, the force field, right? Okay. Right. That protects the Death Star. All right. This is your force field. This is everything that goes on outside of your force field. Okay. Influencers, others, YouTube. Hell, put me in this category if you want to. No problem. Influencers. Okay. This can be things that you have no control. You can't control what I say. You can't control what other influencers say. What you can control is how you receive said information. Big difference. Okay. Making sure that you're not influenced by everything that comes across your way, making sure you have a strong mindset. No control in the short term. Stock market, you don't have any control over it. Let it go. You want to sign up to be a stock market, but you only want a stock market that goes up every day. I don't know a market like that. Okay. So I would rather say, don't be an investor. If that's what your unrealistic expectations of the market are, just don't invest. Okay. You got to take the whole kit and caboodle. That's what you got to do. All right. No control, surprises, ups and downs, geopolitical injects, a global pandemic. You can't control that stuff, guys. Don't take it so personally when these things come into the market. Inflation starts to tick up. Lumber prices become too expensive to buy a house. Houses now are worth $250,000 in Virginia Beach, and they're selling for $500,000. That's just my soapbox. I'm a little sore on that. All right. Influences. Okay. The influence is it outside of your bubble. You can't control that stuff. You have no control over the distractions that exist. Okay. But the positives that relate to distractions are these: focus. You can overcome distraction. Focus on your program, your conviction to your program. Like, how vested are you in this program? All right. I heard one of the guests, LaShonda, she came on with me earlier and she said, Ryan, this is really cool, man. You know, I noticed in myself that I was spending too much on Walmart and Amazon. And so I needed to prove to myself that I could do something with some discipline, some conviction. And I said, LaShonda, you're so right, man. It's hard after a month of investing to really rationalize that, but it will become internal to you and it'll become part of your life. It really will. So the conviction and purpose. Why are you doing this? I said, think about it. Think about where you're going to be in 5 years. Where are you going to be in 10 years? Where are you going to be in 20 years? Hopefully, you're getting ready to hang it up and retire and do some traveling, right? If you have purpose, a reason to justify why it is you do what you do, that's powerful. Don't do it because I come on and you look in my eyes and you can see how intense I am on this topic, because I am. I get it. But don't let that be the sole reason. Use the fire that I provide to you. right? Okay. Use that as fire. That's fine. But this fire, it needs to be internal. Okay. Until you can tell me what empowered means for you, then we still have work to do. All right. The options I already talked about, the multitude of said options out there, but by nature of choice, okay, earmark a few that make sense for you. All right. You'll see if you really look at my portfolio, what you will see is a multitude of different options that I want exposure to. All right. There's a lot of options that aren't part of my portfolio. Okay. For a long time, the option to invest in Amgen was out there and I didn't own it. I now have a small piece of Amgen in the portfolio. I have a small piece of Eli Lilly in the portfolio. I had a big chunk of Amazon, but right now I've got a big position in Google, Facebook, right, Apple, and Microsoft. So I own the bigs, right? I said it was a portfolio positioning move for me, and it was. I wasn't kidding. Eventually, I will buy an enormous position in Amazon with hopefully what I see. There's a method to my madness, hopefully leveraging some house money on the Hyliion meter, which is at 11.5% right now. When it reaches 100, we'll reevaluate. Okay. And we'll look to scale the portfolio in a way that I see will be possible down the line. Is it going to be next week? I don't know. Is it going to be next month? I don't know. The next earmarks for the Hyliion project are latter 2021 to start delivering the V2 hybrid option. Very excited about said product and start to rolling out the demo models, the Hypertruck ERX. Very, very exciting stuff. I'm a big shareholder in the company and it's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be the investment of my lifetime. I have 100% conviction, and if it ends up crashing and burning, you'll all be on the sideline to watch it. My pain will be your pleasure. Just kidding. All right. But I openly share my conviction with YouTube, and good on me for doing that. I could be dead wrong. I think it would be interesting for you to entertain the idea that I'm dead right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Very cool. So we talked about that. One of the problems that I find is complacency, and the very nature that you guys have made your way in here for yet another Friday live stream really is the fuel that feeds my fire. But take some solace in understanding that that's a key element. We fall off in the summer for our viewership, and that's totally fine. I've been doing YouTube a long, long time, and come into the winter time, people will be coming back to the message. Hopefully, maybe they've gone forever. I don't know. That's fine too. I can't control that stuff. Okay. Back to my point. What it is that I can control on the independent investor message is my passion, my devotion, my effort that I put forth, right? The laser focus that I put out there for you guys. And I do that so you can really resonate with the idea of not just saying empowered, but feeling it, feeling what it means to be an empowered investor. Walk around with your head a little bit higher. Why? Because you know shit that the next person doesn't know. Yep. All right. That concludes the lesson for this week. Hope you guys appreciated that. Very, very cool. Outdoor video, man. Semis fuel everyone's fire. we need semis. We need semiconductors. So I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We need to move the Hyliion meter. We'll be fine. That would be great. I don't foresee that happening in the next couple months. We're in kind of a hiatus. There's been some really good reports back on the product and how well it performs in the field. They're fine tuning. They're taking that information. They'll incorporate that into the V2. And man alive, I've never been so excited about being a share. I bought more Hyliion today, actually. Yes, I did. Bought some more Hyliion in the portfolio. So a lot of fun, man. The Hyliion meter is not going to stay at 11.5%, right, for a while. It's not going to stay here forever, baby. And when she moves, she's going to move like a rocket. Actually, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope it goes up nice, slow, and steady and to the right. That's what I want, because I'm willing to hold it for the long term. I say 100. I say that tongue in cheek because I may just pull off the jack move of the century and continue to let it ride at 100. Yeah. I'm crazy enough to do that. I don't think crazy is a fair word. I'm a disciplined enough investor to actually do that, to where I can swing trade an Amazon and take some profits. I can digress and put to work the application that's necessary. And it'll be a big decision. It really will. I'll chronicle it through the channel and share with you guys what it is that I decide to do. Holy smokes, forgot it was Friday. Well, if I forgot it was Friday, you guys would be staring at a blank chair. So that's not going to work. Okay. It's not going to work. It's not going to work for me. I actually look forward to this product. I really do. Cool. Use 90 proof or above alcohol. I use heat for mine. You guys are talking about a home remedy, I'm sure. Thank you, Ashonda, for coming on and saying hello. That was fantastic. She said she's hearing the message out. It's new to her. New investor to the game. I want to make sure that everybody feels welcome, man. It's not even an open door policy implies that at some point the door is closed, and it's not. The social media opportunity to provide awareness pieces to investing are open to everybody out there, everybody. And I think in some form or fashion, a lot of people come to me and they're like, hey, can you give me something to make this make a little bit more sense to me in my life? You bet we can do that. We really can. But I think a lot of people have that capability themselves. And I think LaShonda proved that to me before tonight. So really, really cool. It's great to have you as part of the community. Absolutely. And we'll keep on foot stomping the message. Rebecca's in the house. First, I beat all good. I don't know if you were first. I see some people here. You listen. You're always first in my mind. All right. Yep. You're part of this community. All you got to do is just stamp your card. That's it. No, I've always said that your involvement in the independent investor community is predicated upon your success. It's that simple. I would hate to think that I get on here and I've got the definitive, all-knowing advice that I push out there, and all said patrons can find success in the all-knowing words that Ryan pushes out. I just don't. I don't believe that exists in nature. Yeah, and just like George Carlin, man, one of the great realists of our day, one of the great comedic minds. Just be grounded with your application, okay? I try really, really hard to push out a message that can resonate with a lot of different people that will catch this live stream, not only firsthand, but also the folks, especially from around the globe, that catch it the next day. Yep. I want you guys to feel like you're part of something special, because you are. You are. You are. I don't care if there's 51 people in here or 510 people or 5,000. If we ever get to those numbers, 50,000, I don't know, and I don't really care. I will be steadfast in my application to roll this product out, because as long as I can stay steadfast and close to the vest and grounded in the message, then that has the most potential to get through to the people that we're looking to get through to. Okay? That's why it makes sense. All right. Got to stay true to myself, man. At the end of the day, I can sleep easy knowing that we put forward maximum effort and that we had the potential to impact the majority of people who make their way into the message, or have even heard about the message, let alone find their way into the message. Not too much, man. I got the truck all waxed up today, Victor. I was pretty happy about that, man. Fantastic. My brother from another mother. There's Jared with a big largemouth bass. Fantastic, Jared. He's probably like, no, it's a crappie, Ryan. You suck. It's a bluegill. I'll bet it's one of those three. Looks like a largemouth bass to me. Very cool stuff, man. Dividend driver James is in the house, man. Good friend to the family. You betcha. It's great to see you. Thanks so much for all your support over the years, man. He's one of our truck drivers out there, and you know, he's one of those, me and him go back and forth on whether or not this Hyliion thing is a good thing or not. Verdict is still out. A little bit premature to call, but you know, their initiative is good. They're reducing the carbon footprint is the idea here. Yeah. Less than a minute here, man. I'm gonna cruise down and see. Matt says, Daddy, That's right, son. That's right. I'll always be there for you, son. All right. Spread them wings and fly, son. All right. But I'll always be there for you. All right. Don't ever forget that. I only do colonies. Fantastic. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Said disclaimer is in the description of every video that I roll out. No, I think we're beyond that on YouTube, for crying out loud. Jesus, I would hate to be a financial planner right now. Oh, Jesus. This is one of the best investing channels on YouTube. What can I say? I'll make this short and sweet. I agree with you. It's the only one I watch. I like what this guy has to say. He's down to earth. Yeah. He doesn't act like everything he says is gospel. Yeah. Speaks the truth. Got a lot of experience. Experience in the stock market. This is where a lot of what I say comes from. Experience in the market. Should I be freaking out right now, Ryan? Oh, shit. Ryan's not freaking out. Maybe we're all right. You know? That comes from a deeper place, that of which I can't give you in 60 minutes. However, collectively, I'm willing to give it to you as often as this project calls for, guys. So we are over the 60 minutes. I couldn't get to all the comments, guys. I sit here before the live stream, and I always wonder if this is going to be the live stream where we have 0 attendees. And we keep the streak alive with you guys and the channel creators and subscribers alike to the Independent Investor Channel Project. Really appreciate you guys. It wouldn't go without you guys. I'm just here to facilitate the business, share my story, and help you guys write your own. So with that, we will sign off. We'll be back with you 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time next Friday on the Independent Investor Channel live stream. Have a great rest of the weekend. Be safe, and we'll catch you next Friday.